What's up guys, Jay Sway here. Welcome back to the dorm room. I just wanted to talk about de-essing today in Logic. Logic has a built-in de-esser plugin which works well in many applications, and there are also a lot of third-party plugins that can help fix a vocal that's too sibilant or has harsh sounding consonants. Logic's de-esser is found under the dynamics section, and it looks like this. It has a detector section and a suppressor section, which intuitively is just, the detector is a selecting band for the suppressor to act upon. So generally you're going to want to set these at the same frequency, between about 7 and 8 kilohertz, and you probably don't want them to be too sensitive on the detector or too much gain reduction to be happening by the suppressor, because it'll sound unnatural if you have these settings too high, and it'll sound like you're lisping or something. If you really want to dial in the sensitivity here, under the monitor section you can select the sensitivity, and it'll show you what portions of your audio, of your vocal line, are actually triggering the suppressor. So that's helpful. The song that I actually have pulled up here is a dance song, and it sounds like this.
Boy, make it work, whisper in my ear, take it for a ride and I might let you steer. Keep up the pace, turn up the bass.
Right, so I don't have a problem with her sibilance in this, but I'm just using it as a demonstration for how to do this via sidechain compression, which is, if you don't have all these plugins, how you can get this done using just what we've talked about with sidechain compression. So to do that, I'm going to create a new track parallel to her vocal, and her vocal is this one right here, by the way. And I'm just going to copy it down to that new track and mute the channel. And we're going to want to stress the sibilant frequencies here, which, as I mentioned, are between 7 and 8 kilohertz, but it could change depending on the singer. Now I'm going to high pass out all of the mid-range and bass, because we're not concerned with that. We're just concerned with these frequencies right here. And to really stress it, I'm going to do a peak band here at the same general region of where we set the detector and suppressor of Logic's de-esser. This is from my own experience. They'll lie about here for me. Like I said, it could be different for you. And I'm also going to turn the gain down because I've normalized the vocal and it's pretty loud. You could just as well turn the fader down on the sidechain channel right here. Now back on the channel for the vocal, we're going to place a compressor just as we did for the previous tutorial. And we're going to select the sidechain to be that of the one that we've stressed the sibilance. And you could call this channel DS or whatever helps you recognize it, but since the sidechain selector will list audio 42, it's pretty easy to go in here and find audio 42. And now these settings are actually going to be what you're going to mess with to get the sound dialed in. So I'm going to set the gain, the makeup gain, to 0 because we don't really want to make the vocal louder here. We're just trying to take out the S sounds. And I'm also going to set it to peak because we want it to be instant. We don't want it to be some kind of time averaged S that we're taking out. And I'm also going to take the attack down for the same reason. We want it to take out the S right away. I mean, you could, maybe you'll find that this is smoother to back off the attack a little bit, but for now we'll just start with quick. And likewise, release we want to bring down because we don't want to go into the next part of the vocal line with gain reduction. So I'll turn the ratio down a little bit just so we can hear it. And now it's just a matter of trying to get your gain reduction to be where it's just taking out parts of your S sounds, but not too harshly. And you don't want it to be always on, right? So we'll try to get that.
Boy, make it work, whisper in my ear, take it for a ride and I might let you steer.
Again, my computer freezes. That's what I get for having an old MacBook Pro. But as you can see, we had it pretty good right there. It was just around 1 or 2 dB of gain reduction at its most. But it was only occurring when she was singing S's or had consonants in that range. So it's working, basically, is what I'm saying. And from there, it's just a matter of, like I said, dialing in this. Maybe you want to change your sidechain frequencies a little bit, and you can have these open side by side, changing, your sidechain filter or your compressing settings to make it smoother. But in general, that's a good way to make your own de-esser in Logic. Otherwise, I know a lot of producers actually just go in and do the dirty work, and they'll zoom in on a vocal and simply go ahead and automate S sounds, because you can pretty much see them pretty clearly at the end or beginning or at the end of phrases or words rather. So if you want to, an easy way to do that would be to pull up the marquee tool here and then select a band or an interval of time. Say this is an S sound maybe, and then just pull down. This is a really rough way to do it, and it's very abrupt, as you can see. So you could just pull these out if you wanted to smooth it a little bit, but generally you want these things to be very quick and precise. So before I was actually just drawing all these dots and then trying to pull down on it, but really the marquee tool creates an easy way to just select a portion of the audio file that you can pick out visually and just pull down. So automation is also a good de-essing technique, and it's very precise. And I guess it comes down to the motto of, if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself, rather than relying on some plugins like sidechain compression or a de-esser plugin. So if you can't get it done with what I've showed you with the plugins or with sidechain compression, automation will be sure to get it done if you just put in the time. So that's it for today. I'll be back with more on actually basic EQ. I feel like I should talk about that next, because I haven't really talked about the basics of mixing, which is compression and EQ. So thanks for coming back to the dorm room, and I'll see you guys later.